What if your diabetes wasn't really about sugar? What if it wasn't about your weight, your genetics, or even your diet? What if there's something else, something overlooked, that's been quietly driving your blood sugar higher day after day? Imagine if one simple shift, one change, could begin to reverse the problem. Not a complicated supplement plan, not an expensive treatment, just one key change that could help unlock your body's natural ability to manage blood sugar effectively again. Let me tell you about James. He's 47 years old, no history of diabetes in the family, fairly active, doesn't smoke. He's not overweight by much, maybe 10 or 15 pounds. But over the last year, he noticed some changes. Low energy after meals, brain fog in the afternoons. And one morning, a routine checkup revealed something surprising. His fasting blood sugar was 128. That's pre-diabetic and dangerously close to type 2. His doctor immediately recommended medication, but James wasn't ready to go that route. Instead, he started investigating what could really be happening in his body. That journey led him to something most people never talk about: insulin resistance. And more importantly, what causes it? Let's break it down. Diabetes isn't really about sugar. It's about insulin, your body's hormone for managing glucose. When your body becomes resistant to insulin, sugar builds up in the bloodstream. But what causes insulin resistance in the first place? Here's where it gets interesting. It's not always about sugar or carbs. One of the most common, yet least discussed, causes is something called chronic inflammation. Inflammation disrupts insulin signaling, making your cells less responsive to insulin. So even if you're eating relatively clean, your body may be struggling to absorb glucose properly. And where does that inflammation come from? Here's the big reveal. One of the most powerful drivers of chronic inflammation isn't in your food, it's in your gut. That's right, your gut health may be the missing link to your blood sugar problems. Inside your digestive system lives a massive community of bacteria, fungi, and other microbes. It's called your microbiome. When the microbiome is in balance, it supports digestion, immunity, even metabolism. But when it's out of balance, when bad bacteria outnumber the good, it causes something called leaky gut. And leaky gut allows toxins, undigested food, and inflammatory compounds to leak into the bloodstream. Your immune system responds with, you guessed it, inflammation. And that inflammation, it directly impacts how well your insulin works. So, what's the one change that started to turn things around for James? He focused on repairing his gut, not with pills, not with fads, but with 3 foundational habits that rebuilt his gut microbiome, and in turn, his blood sugar balance. First, fiber. Most people don't get enough of it, but fiber is the #1 fuel source for beneficial gut bacteria. When you eat soluble fiber from sources like chia seeds, flax, oats, and lentils, you feed the microbes that reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and stabilize blood sugar. James started each morning with a chia flax breakfast smoothie. Within a week, his digestion improved. Within a month, his sugar spikes began to flatten. Second, fermented foods. Natural probiotics like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, and plain yogurt introduce healthy bacteria directly into your gut. These microbes crowd out harmful species and reduce gut permeability. James added a small serving of sauerkraut to his lunch and swapped soda for kombucha. He didn't make huge changes, just small swaps. And they added up. Third, remove the biggest offenders. James cut back, way back, on seed oils like canola, soybean, and corn oil. These oils are highly inflammatory and are often hidden in processed snacks, restaurant meals, and salad dressing. He also minimized refined carbs, not eliminated, but replaced white bread and pasta with whole grain versions. And slowly, meal by meal, his blood sugar improved. But here's the most surprising thing he noticed. It wasn't just his glucose numbers that changed. His energy returned. His mental clarity came back. He started sleeping better. His afternoon cravings faded. And at his next checkup, his fasting glucose dropped to 99, back in the healthy range. The point? Diabetes may not always start with sugar. Sometimes it starts with your gut. Now, before you think this is just about fiber and yogurt, there's more to the story. Because certain habits that seem harmless can quietly damage your gut and your insulin sensitivity every single day. Skipping meals, eating late at night, chronic stress, and poor sleep all hurt your gut microbiome. And when that ecosystem is under attack, it's nearly impossible to keep inflammation under control. That's why James didn't just focus on food. He added one simple daily walk after dinner. He turned off screens an hour before bed, and he added a morning gratitude journal, just 5 minutes, to reduce cortisol. These small changes helped his body return to a healing state, where insulin could do its job again. So, What if your diabetes isn't about sugar? What if it's about inflammation? And what if that inflammation is coming from your gut? Science is now catching up. Multiple studies have shown that people with type 2 diabetes have significantly different gut bacteria than those without. And when those bacteria are brought back into balance through diet, lifestyle, and mindset, insulin sensitivity can improve dramatically. Even HbA1c levels can drop within a few weeks. Let's recap the one change that made all the difference. Targeting the root cause, inflammation, by healing the gut. And how do you begin? Add more soluble fiber to your meals. Chia, flax, oats, beans. Include fermented foods daily. Sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, plain yogurt. Reduce inflammatory oils and ultra-processed foods. Support your gut with gentle lifestyle changes. Movement, stress reduction, and sleep hygiene. These aren't radical changes, but they unlock radical results. And in the next section, we'll explore which specific foods, drinks, and habits have been clinically proven to rebalance the gut and reduce insulin resistance, even in people who've struggled with diabetes for years. Now let's get specific. You've already learned that gut health plays a powerful role in insulin resistance. But what exact foods and habits can help restore your gut and potentially reverse prediabetes or even type 2 diabetes? Let's start with a morning routine designed to wake up your digestive system, support your microbiome, and balance your hormones. First thing in the morning, drink a glass of warm water with the juice of half a lemon and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. This simple tonic jumpstarts your stomach acid, which improves digestion and reduces bloating. The acidity also supports the growth of beneficial bacteria in your gut. Bonus, it may reduce blood sugar spikes after breakfast. Now let's talk about breakfast. Many people skip it entirely or load up on cereal, toast, and fruit juice. But this spikes blood sugar and leaves you crashing by 11 a.m. Instead, aim for a balanced plate. One source of protein, like eggs or Greek yogurt, healthy fats, like avocado or olive oil, and a source of fiber, like oats or chia pudding. This combination slows digestion and keeps blood sugar stable for hours. And if you add a pinch of Ceylon cinnamon on top, even better. Studies show cinnamon can improve insulin sensitivity by mimicking the effects of insulin itself. Next up, movement. You don't need a gym. A simple 10 to 15-minute walk after meals can lower blood sugar by 20 to 30%. That's because walking helps your muscles absorb glucose from your bloodstream. Think of it as a second insulin that your body naturally produces when you move. But movement isn't only about burning calories. It also supports gut motility, helping food pass through the digestive tract efficiently. This reduces bloating, improves nutrient absorption, and supports microbial diversity in your gut. Here's another powerful tip. Reduce your eating window. This doesn't mean extreme fasting, but if you can eat your meals within a 10 to 12-hour window, say from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., your body has more time to rest, repair, and regulate insulin at night. Studies show that early time-restricted feeding improves fasting glucose, lowers insulin levels, and reduces inflammation. And remember, your gut bacteria have a circadian rhythm too. They thrive when your meals are predictable and aligned with daylight. Now let's talk about stress, because here's a hidden truth. Stress raises cortisol, and cortisol raises blood sugar, even if you haven't eaten anything. So, if you're constantly in a state of low-level stress, work emails, traffic, social media, or poor sleep, your body may be producing too much cortisol, and that can drive insulin resistance. That's why calming habits like deep breathing, meditation, or even 5 minutes of silence in the morning can make a massive difference. Sleep matters too. If you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep or staying up late under artificial light, your body may be losing insulin sensitivity overnight. That's because sleep is when your body resets key metabolic pathways. James, from our earlier story, started going to bed 30 minutes earlier. He put his phone in another room, and by simply improving his sleep hygiene, his blood sugar dropped another 10 points in 2 weeks. Now let's go deeper into specific foods you can eat to actively reverse insulin resistance and support gut health. Fermented foods are at the top of the list. Sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, plain yogurt, miso, all contain live cultures that repopulate your gut with good bacteria. Aim for 1 serving daily, not all at once, just consistently. Prebiotic foods feed those good bacteria. These include onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, bananas, especially slightly green ones, and oats. Try to get a few servings per day. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula are rich in magnesium, a mineral that improves insulin sensitivity and helps control glucose levels. Then there's berberine. This natural plant compound, found in herbs like golden seal and barberry, has been shown to be as effective as metformin in lowering blood sugar. It supports both insulin and gut health. While you should consult your doctor before taking supplements, berberine is gaining traction as a natural option for metabolic support. And don't forget omega-3 fats. Found in wild salmon, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia, these healthy fats reduce inflammation and improve insulin function. Now, what should you avoid? The biggest gut-damaging culprits are refined sugars, seed oils, and ultra-processed foods. Even if the label says sugar-free or low-fat, check the ingredients. Artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame can damage gut bacteria. Industrial oils like canola, soybean, and corn promote inflammation and disrupt the microbiome. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. And finally, your mindset. Shame and guilt do nothing for healing. Your body wants to get better. It's designed for balance. And small, simple choices, done daily, create powerful results. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to fear food. You don't even need to fear diabetes. Because when you focus on the root cause, insulin resistance driven by inflammation and gut imbalance, you give your body the tools it needs to heal. James didn't just reverse his blood sugar numbers. He reversed how he felt about himself. He felt empowered, in control, capable again. And so can you. So let's recap the most important takeaways. Heal the gut with fiber, fermented foods, and prebiotics. Avoid inflammatory oils and artificial sweeteners. Support insulin with gentle movement and a consistent sleep schedule. Reduce your eating window and align meals with daylight. Reduce stress and screen time before bed. Start with one habit this week. Add one new food. Take one extra walk. Go to bed 15 minutes earlier. Your body will respond. And if you want to learn more about how to naturally reset your blood sugar, beat belly fat, and boost your energy, stick with us, because your next morning could be the one that changes everything.